I'm going to try to do this in one take and one take only. This is a 2009 Infiniti FX, and back then they did not have the option for the fully powered trunk or liftgate that would lift itself. But still, whenever I open my trunk, my hatch, I expect a little more enthusiasm from the liftgate. This one is really weak, unlocked, but nothing else happens. So I have to pull it up, and it will go up. The reason is these liftgate support struts, support shocks, they're dead. And in a bit, I'm going to get you just a little closer and then show you the process of replacing this. So first, I'd like you to see that this is what the original setup looks like. I usually try to look at it just so I can remember where the rod side is and where the cylinder side is. So cylinder to body, and then the rod side to the liftgate. You can see it's a little oily, so something did leak out, and that's all right. I think when I get a chance to, I'm going to pull them out and take out the OEM part numbers, share those numbers in the description box below. This one is the left side. There's an L over there. This is the right side, should be. Right there, there's an R. And they usually have different part numbers. And that's all right, this one is leaking as well. So at 211,000 miles, hard-working miles, I bet it's about time to replace them. And my choice of a replacement is these two gas struts from Tuff Support. They usually offer a lifetime warranty. The part number you'll be looking for is, if I can see it right here, 612888. And I will share these part numbers in the description box. It is the same part number in this case, which is usually, the front of this vehicle did not seem to care, but the rear has a left strut and a right strut. And I mentioned this when I was doing the hood, is that sometimes whenever you test them, it seems like one of them was usually stronger than the other, you know? So as to why they chose to have a specific kind over there, only they know. For me, what I usually do is do this in a tightening motion just to make sure everything is good. And same thing here, because you can pull this all the way off. If I went counterclockwise with this, I could unscrew it. So it's just something I usually like to say, just be careful. And whenever you install it, if you have to twist it, make sure you're twisting it the right direction, right? Same thing on top here. And I did not get a chance to show it very well last time I did this, but I don't think I did. So the only tool I really need is a flathead screwdriver. The thinner the better. And what I'm going for is this gap right here, okay? Sorry, can you see it? This gap right here. And what that gap allows us to do is to open these hasps right inside here. So there you go, that's pretty much it. And I usually slide it back sometimes if time allows or if the method allows. But let me get you a little closer to the vehicle so that you can understand why exactly I'm even bothering with that. So this is how it's mounted over here. As you can see, this is the class I was going for. It's a ball and socket design, and I can do this. And once this is loose, you could have it shoot all the way, or you could just remove it. Thing is, you need a helper, and it gets a little difficult to do these kinds of jobs by myself, but I'll give it a try. You already know what I'm trying to do, right? Okay. So right now, I'm going to use my head to support this while I remove this joint right here. There you go. So you have to go high enough so that it's loose. It's not supporting itself. And once I take this off, it's going to just drop, because now it's only supported by one side, which is half dead. I'm going to do the same thing on the other joint down there. And with the other joint, I'm asking myself whether it would have been more prudent to work on the bottom first, but I think I'm fine. Maybe on the other one I'll try to do it that way. But as I said, just a flathead, and once it's loose, just pull this out. So this is the socket, and this is the ball design that we're using here. And yeah, I mean, just go ahead and install the other one. It's pretty simple, right? I personally like to, let's put these against each other. So this is one thing you need to do. First, lay them, side by side, make sure the measurements are somewhat equal. But this one is really beefy looking, right? But hey, oil versus air, obviously they're going to look a little different. So let me go ahead. Oh, I was talking about my preference. My preference is to use the flathead to open this up and then put it in the socket, just because I don't want it to slam in there. But you definitely have the choice. If you wanted to, you could just force this in like this. Is this back seated? If you wanted to. As I said, it's not my preferred design. You could just force it in if you wanted to. But on some of them, they usually give you a problem because they are very, very hard. This one here seems to be no problem, right? But you're never really sure. Sometimes the ones in the hood give you issues. So like this one here, brand new clasps. Will it work? Will it not? We're not really sure. Let's go ahead and try it. Let's just see what happens. Okay, finally made it in. Okay, so I'm going to go up with this one. Remember, if you have to turn anything, make sure you're turning it in the right direction. This one seems loose. Okay, here we go. Okay. Gets a little interesting here. Okay. Oof, that did not sound good. I did not like the sound of that at all. But hey, it's holding. It's there. And that one by itself is holding pretty well. So, you know what I'm doing. So right now what I'm going to do is work on that side. And all I'm going to do is use the flathead to remove. And most probably use a flathead on the way in. Again, just my experience is that sometimes the balls get scratched, and I I prefer not to do that during installation. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open the second one. Well, why did I go through the bottom? It's not going to work. Just push it through the top. Okay, I'll start with this side again. This seems to work better for me. Oh, that almost jumped out. The snap ring, do you see that? Almost jumped out. I tried to let go of it, but the lift gate is so heavy that it's struggling by itself. Like one strut by itself would not make it, would not manage to hold it up. Okay, out it goes. Then for the sake, just for fun, I suppose, I'll compare them. Everything's good. This one's really juicy. Let's see if this one works. As I said, sometimes it works, sometimes it just fights you. That one went in, nice and easy. Oof. I have to turn this all the way around. Too much. Well, instead of unscrewing it, I'll just go around the world again. See, now this is that example I was giving earlier, that sometimes they fight you and they don't want to go in. So I have to get the tool, open up the little ring, to do it from the top. Okay, it's opened up. set it in there, nice and drop. So it varies. I usually do my level best to show best practice, and whenever I use a shortcut and I stray away from best practice, I do tell you why I did what I did, just so that in case you were installing this yourself, you ran into I don't want to make it look way simpler than it is sometimes. But if there is a shortcut, I will tell you about it. That's been my system generally. You know, tell you the good, the bad, and let you see for yourself. So now, boy, it's gotten dark really quick. What I'm going to do is try the hole, open the hatch, and see what happens to it, okay? All right, great. Let's give this a try. Pull it down. Not too much resistance. So far it feels normal right at that point. Push it down. Okay, right, held. Let's see if this works, because this was the whole point. We were trying to do this and say, hey, we're better, or it should be better. So let's do this. Pop. It feels like the light came on a little sooner. Okay. Then do this. I don't know if you can see it, but it feels like it's out there. It's not jumping like, you know, you'd expect a sedan trunk to jump, but whoa, okay. Yeah, that is kind of new, right? It wasn't doing that initially. So I think our experiment has been successful. The one thing I guess it's a hazards of repairs, right? It's so fast it could hit you, or it could basically shake the whole car like it was doing like this. That is so vigorous. I'm looking at the hinges back there and I'm a little worried for them. So it works, successful, and I mean, what else can I say? It works, right? Process works. All the best if you're watching this video to learn something. I hope you do learn something. As I said, I like to share as much as I know, share my successes, my failures. If there are any pitfalls, I'll let you know that, hey, this is something to look out for. And otherwise, I mean, I can replace these things in the privacy of my own home, but, you know, why not share with you guys? So what kind of person would need to replace their trunk, whatever, struts? Well, we're getting into the cold season, and in my experience, generally, whenever it gets cold, the worst of your suspension comes out. Basically, if these guys were just borderline holding up during the summer, in the winter your hatch it's probably going to fall down on you. And I bought the vehicle in February, and it's taken me such a long time to do this. I mean, I wanted to know if I wanted to keep the car long term or not. But the reason is, in February, as soon as I bought it, I could feel like both the hood and the liftgate, or rear liftgate, was sagging or dropping down whenever I'd opened them. Okay, all right, that's it. This video has been really long. I thought it was gonna be quicker than that, but hey, we're doing vlogs now, right? We're doing lessons. This is not just a quick summary. We're explaining the why and the reasons behind stuff, and I think we're done.